it was very difficult to pull China together. You know, it was occupied, it was invaded, it was divided, and this was an extremely difficult and painful period for China from 1911, 1912 until the end of the Second World War, or we could say in Europe, the end of the Second World War. What is remarkable, really, is that what emerges as really the answer to this very difficult problem that China faced, and the Chinese Communist Party found the way to do it. In China, the society doesn't really operate very well without a strong state. It goes back so long, this tradition. At the heart of China, which had the capacity to reconstruct and redefine China in a new and very different era. This was the achievement of the Chinese Communist Party. This was something which outside China has never been given the credit that it should be given, but I think in China it is, of course, greatly acknowledged. So this was a great moment for China, and it's found a way which is different from the Western way, in all sorts of different ways, to get to where it has. So that's one area I think has been very impressive. There's no question that the Chinese approach, the Chinese system is successful. Because, you know, when you've got a country that makes that kind of transformation, then, you know, the question then is, how did you do it? Well, you know, this was a complex process, but essentially the Chinese the Chinese society has a great leadership. You know, you have to say that overseeing this transformation, remarkable transformation, it doesn't just happen. It doesn't just sort of fall out of the sky. You know, you need a government or a party that can provide leadership to society, give it a sense of direction, and work out in a very practical, sequence way how to do it. That's very difficult. That's a hugely difficult process, and I think China is gifted with a very remarkable leadership. I would say also this is an historical feature of China. I mean, you know, it goes back a long time. It's in the sort of tradition, the genes, if you like, of China, that statecraft is part of what China is very, very good at. Hence its dependence, Chinese society's dependence in a way on having a strong, capable state. So I think that we shouldn't be surprised then that when China begins to feel confident and strong enough to provide suggestions about how the world might be better and the kind of contribution it could make, that actually China is very interesting and has come up with some very interesting proposals in relationship to this. I mean, the first was probably the Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank, the AIB, and then on a much grander scale, I mean, the Belt and Road. China has a capacity to be, in all senses, a very modern country with a very large influence in the world. And I'm confident that China can reach this point. The primary axis is the relationship with the developing world, and it sees itself as playing the role of assisting the modernization of these countries. And that's what I think is that is the most distinctive feature, I think, of Chinese globalization. We should view China's rise as one of these great forces of nature, that it is irresistible.